Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Gaming with Infamous. Today I am here with Mark Edward, my dreaded opponent in the gaming of life.
Yeah, okay.
Now today we're gonna pick up on where first before we get started I'm gonna go ahead and say hi Mark.
Hi, Mark.
There you go. Perfect. I couldn't have said it better myself. Hi, Mark. Oh, my cat.
Why would you?
Now, the cat's at the door meowing again, like he always does once I get on this thing and start streaming. So this time I'm gonna ignore him. I don't know if I can ignore him though, because he gets really out of hand. He's a rebel. Now, what I want to get into is something that me and Karma actually did about AI about a year and a half ago when we first started these streams. And I also want to point it out because this is the facts, okay? Me and Karma came out with this before AI was cool. You know what I mean? Before everybody had their big debates on it. And you see all these streamers talking about it today. Me and Karma actually brought it up, you know, and I even said it in chat with you and Tan. I think at that point I was like, you watch, this is going to hit big. People are going to be talking about this because AI is going to be a big deal here before long, and lo and behold, guess what happens?
Yeah, the term AI, the term that is overly used and that broadly doesn't have any substance to it.
Yeah, but you do realize, though, that back when I was discussing this stuff, nobody believed me when I said this was going to end up becoming big news. You can call it whatever you want, you know, but the fact is now everybody's talking about it, and that's the one thing that gets me. And the time I'm talking about was during negotiations between SAG and the entertainment part of Hollywood, I guess it was. There was a part of the negotiations that was going on concerning voice actors, and AI companies were literally stealing their voices and using them on their video games without their permission.
So yeah, like I said, just before we started the stream, intellectual property.
Exactly.
I don't want to call it theft, but for most people, yeah, they would call it theft.
That's kind of how I feel about it. It actually is theft, you know. And don't get me wrong, I've played around with AI here recently, especially after we started talking about it in Tech Talk. You know what I mean? I figured, well, instead of just having the conversations about it, I might as well get in and kind of see what it was like and get my hands on it, you know, kind of get some experience with it. And I mean, later on I do want to mention that when we do Tech Talk again, because I want to go over some of the stuff that I found out about it. But since since we're doing gaming, I figured we could continue where we left off. Me and Karma, when it comes to AI, and where it went from there until now. Now with AI, the whole thing that happened back then was the woman who used to play the nanny. I don't know if you remember that show or not.
Nanny?
The Nanny, back in the 90s.
This must be nice.
Now you're gonna start, you're gonna start ranking on the United States again, aren't you?
Well, it's not one day look nice.
Well, I'll get her name actually, so that we
Okay.
can. She's Fran Drescher is who it is. Yeah, she was the she was the woman who played the nanny on there, and she also became the what do they call it, the chairman of the SAGs, the Screen Actors Guild.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Now, they're also affiliated with the voice actors in on video games. So not only do they negotiate for actors in Hollywood that are on television, but they also negotiate for the sound actors who are involved in all of the video games.
Oh, on the US video games.
Mhm.
Remember, not everybody shares the same union.
Well, well, I'm pretty sure you guys have your equivalents of the SAG, the Screen Actors Guild.
Okay, not
You
sure.
know, So I mean, I don't know for sure if you guys actually condone actors being responsible for themselves when it when it comes to making decisions and stuff. Because I've seen some of the actors in your country, and they don't seem to have very much thought when it comes to what they want, their dreams and aspirations.
Okay,
Just a personal observation there.
okay. Maybe modern actors, but I'm thinking of the likes of Richard Burton and yeah, older actors.
You can only think of one. Is it
Yeah,
seriously, dude?
I was thinking the Richard Burton version of 1984, and who was the other actor?
That was it.
Um,
That's all you can come up with. You're having a brain
that's all I
fart,
can
dude.
think of at the moment.
Just one. That's
Richard
horrible, dude.
Burton, good actor though. He was alive.
Now, what was the name of the guy who starred in what was it? Number. What was? I'm not a number. You remember that one? I'm a free man.
Oh yeah,
I forgot the name of the
Prisoner.
movie. The number. Uh,
Yeah, Prisoner.
I forgot the name of the show.
1960. Yeah, Prisoner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
No, he was a good actor.
1962.
And the only reason why I really knew about him, first of all, was when I was a kid, I listened to Iron Maiden, and Iron Maiden had The Prisoner for one of their songs. And at the beginning of it, it had him, and that's when I first found out about him. But anyhow,
Patrick McGowan.
yeah, he was good.
Yeah.
So he's not even English, he's Scottish, isn't he? McEwen?
See?
McEwen?
Welsh.
Welsh, yeah. See,
No, actually incorrect. He was born in New York.
he's wow. So he's one of us. She said so he was like an import. Okay, so basically what it was, getting on track, was Fran Drescher was the one who had to go in there, and the only thing I took from all of that is the fact that these poor people had to sit in a courtroom listening to Fran Drescher for hours on hours. Okay. Now, have you ever heard Fran Drescher's voice?
I can't even remember what she looks like at this moment.
Dude, it's like that, and I wanted to bring that up because it's actually pretty funny. I mean, that's like comedy hour, you know what I mean? People need to actually understand that's cool stuff. So
Yeah.
now,
Okay, yeah.
what happened there is they ended up passing protections against them, or supposedly they did. But then I wanted to later on come back in and look at this topic again, because the one thing that I really get annoyed with today's media is the fact that they always they always bring a story out and they never go back and check on it. You know what I mean? They never do a, what do they call that again? Where they freaking go back and they do a follow up. Yeah, they never do follow ups anymore like they used to. You know what I mean? So I'm glad you're here, even though you weren't here the first time. You know, but um, I kind of wanted to go back through all of that, you know, so that you kind of get an idea of what was taking place in our last episode, and like what's your thoughts about the Actors Guild over here being responsible for video game actors or voice actors in the video game industry? Do you think that's crossing the line? Or
Suppose everybody's got a right to join a union, and if the union represents them, then
now, for me personally, looking back on it, I personally feel that it was just a big gimmick. To be honest with you, I think that a lot of that took place was just staged so that they could publicize some of the things that they're doing, because well, especially with the stuff that I've been pulling together. Okay, I've been seeing something that seems pretty dank when it comes to that shit. Like, first of all, these people were so worried about AA, and they portrayed that whenever they were getting in front of the cameras, right? But later on, I started doing more research into the stuff that's being integrated into the gaming industry when it comes to AI, the words that you hate, you know what I mean? So that is where I wanted to come back to this and kind of, you know, do a follow-up and everything, and kind of go over some of the stuff that's actually happened in the last year and a half concerning AI, because I do find it kind of disturbing for them going from the Actors Guild complaining that AI was stealing their voices to some of the stuff that's being done in the gaming industry. You know what I mean? So
not sure if it's what you call it, stealing the voices.
Well, I mean, you're the one that
At
started
least from a legal definition, anyway.
I mean, you felt uncomfortable about saying it, but you're the one that first said the word stealing in this conversation.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, so.
Just because I think of a better word for it.
It's like, you know, for you, it's like one thing is good for you. What's good for you isn't good for the gander, it seems like. You know,
well, yeah, I just couldn't think of a better word for it, but stealing, because that means that you're removing the voice from the owner without the permission.
Well, you're borrowing it without permission. Would be the best way of saying it. Which you're right. That's not really stealing.
Yeah,
it's altering something that is
plagiarism. I think would be more appropriate.
Plagiarism. Yeah. That sounds good. We'll stick with that one, because you're the one who's big on the whole terms and services and stuff. And actually, before we get into this, I do want to ask you something. Did you ever do that interview with Rapid?
Like I said on Saturday, you reminded me after the fact. I did message him back. Let me. I'm seeing a small in Discord there.
I think it was
message him back, and he said, and he messaged me the next day saying that he'd have a word with Zach and let me know.
Okay, good. Well,
to reschedule. Yeah.
Now, I just want everybody on here, if anybody actually does watch this, to know that Mark will be getting interviewed on. Now I'm having a brain fart. Now on Rapid Glitches channel, which is retro. Man, I've got it sitting right up here too. I don't even know why I'm doing that. All I got to do is like skim over his channel and get the name.